Hello everyone, this is Jesus from Hustling Labs, and today I will be. This is part two of a five-part video series in which we're going to be building a, Instagram clone in Bubble. So, if this is something that you want to build, if you are trying to build an Instagram clone, this is definitely the video that you want to watch. Just really quick. We got some background. All right, cool. And make sure. Let's go back to part one. All right, I think we're good. So yeah, as I was saying, we're building this whole Instagram clone in Bubble.io. In part one, we already built the database with the help of Claude, which is an AI tool that similar to ChatGPT. Today, we're going to be building the feed for a social media application similar to what you're going to find in Instagram. So, with that being said, we're going to jump in and let's get started. I don't want to waste your time or anything like that. Um, so, what we're going to do is going to also share this window. So, this is, I think we're good ish, kind of. All right, anyways, we're going to bring here um, Instagram, and we're going to close this up here. I need to share this here. All right, cool. So here we have the homepage, the Instagram homepage, I should say, and this is what we're going to be building today. We're going to be building everything from scratch, as you can tell. I would ask just one thing, and that is that if people can hear me, um, please let me know. I had recorded this video. This is the second time I record this video, and the first time people could not hear me. So if you can hear me, please let me know. I would be really appreciative if you can do that.
Let's try to. Okay. Let's see. Do we have? All right, I'm going to assume that you can hear me. So just 1 second. All right, so we're going to start building this from the ground up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change the background to be a black, and we're going to create the three elements that we see here. So the three elements are two sidebar and one center um, area. So the background will be a row, and this is going to be about 25%. And we're going to multiply that by 2, and the middle one will be about 50%, give or take. So going back to here, we have a logo, but we have a sidebar line. Um, Actually, we are going to use Arc for this. And the reason why we're going to use Arc is because, while I don't use it too often, I'm able to use most of the same Chrome extensions as you are going to find in Google Chrome, because it's a Chromium website. So this is 26, 26, 26. So we're going to create this sidebar. Let's lower this. The right side border element is going to be, oops, 26. Yep, good. And then we're going to create a padding of 12 all around, and we're going to do the same thing on this other sidebar. All right, we're going to make sure that they're all 100%. So meaning from top to bottom. And as I am building, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I will look at them from time to time. I think we're good on that. So the very first thing that we want to do is we want to drop an image element there, which is going to hold the logo. The logo, I could not find it with a clear background, so this is going to be looking like that. It's an SVG file, so it's going to stay as it is. There was no time to get a fix. So the next thing that we're going to add is going to be the sidebar. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups. So while this sidebar is a column, the menu groups are going to be rows. So let's add the first row. And this is going to be the home menu group. I like to name them as clear English. So whenever I'm looking back, I can just reference them. I like the Google Material icons. So I'm going to install that plugin, and I'm going to return back to my editor. I'm going to drop an icon, and this is home icon, and this is going to be color white. And let's make sure this needs to be a row. All right, cool. The dimensions is going to be 24 by 24. And this is going to have a gap of 6 pixels in between. And let's drop a test element. It's going to read home. Change the color, bold it, and let's make sure it's center. And this is probably around a 16. All right, so now that we have the first element, we are going to do, or 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8. So let's clone this 8 times too. Oops. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's make sure they're all in a group, which is going to be a column group. The reason why is because we're going to add some gaps later on. This is going to be extended all the way down, and now we're going to add a 24 pixels gap in between. Perhaps we can Yeah, it doesn't matter. All right, so this search explore reels. So let's change them. Let's see what are the next ones. Messages, notifications, create. And the last one is profile. All right. So we're going to right click on top of this icon element, and we're going to replace the type of the element type, and we're going to replace it for an image. Click replace. The roundness is going to be 100, so a perfect circle. And this is going to keep the aspect ratio, and this is going to be the current user profile picture. And the run model rendering will be stretched. So as you can tell here, there's the profile picture right there. All right, so what we want to do now is we're going to create a conditional. I should have done this at the beginning, but we're going to create a conditional when this group is hover. Is going to change the color. Just make sure that the color style is on their flat color, because here we don't have a background style. And we're going to change the color. This is probably about a 26, 26, 26. We're going to copy this condition and we're going to paste it all across. And this could have taken no time, but it's what it is, you know. Sometimes you skip things that later on you realize that you had to do. It's what it is. It happens. So let's start changing the icons. So create is plus, and actually nice plus is add. Let's see. And we're not going to get exactly the same icons, but notification, I believe is, we got notifications there. We got messages reels. So this is going to be video, explore search. Okay. All right, sure. Explorer will be that for now. And search will be this one. All right, let's take a look at both of these designs and see how we can improve them. All right, so perhaps this is, okay. So this sidebar is probably too big. So what we're going to do is 20%. And, you know, sometimes you gotta go and play with it for a little bit. We're going to leave the sidebar as it is. I think it's fairly close. Now we have to do these two other menu items at the bottom. So what we do is to copy this, paste it here twice, bring them together into a column element. And now that we have all the groups, what we're going to do is we're going to separate them. So this is going to be threads and more. This is going to be a hamburger icon, and this one we're going to replace it for an image where we're going to be using the threads logo, brand logos, threads. And we're going to keep the aspect ratio, say 1:1. It doesn't look right, so I believe I have a better one. Yeah, I think this one is better. All right, definitely better. Yep, that's the one. Let's take a look. All right, let me deactivate the debugger mode. It's going to reload, and yeah, it looks about right. Perhaps we can just group this element together in a column. And I think that will be closer to the, okay, let's not do that. This will be closer to the Instagram. The other icons are a little bit bigger. I think that's okay. All right, so now we have the build, and we're done with the sidebar for now. As we build more pages, we will be adding some functionality to this sidebar, but so right now there's no point on that. The only thing that we're going to do is, let's see how, okay, so because most of the sidebars are about the same, we're going to convert this into reusable element, and we're going to call it full sidebar. So we can reuse this later on. All right, cool. We're going to return back to the index page, and what we're going to do is, rather than having that sidebar there, and we can delete the sidebar 1, and we can make this the first element, and the maximum width will be 20%. Let's make sure that we get this right. Oh, we forgot that we need to make this 100%. Now, right now, I'm just designing for desktop. I'm not opening the app right now to take a look and see how it works on the app, but perhaps there's one more thing that I could do, and that is make sure that we have rounded corners. So we're going to go with Sys. And rather than doing that, we're going to go to styles, groups, standard group, and make sure that all of them have a roundness of Sys around the corners. You just make it easier. And we're going to reload, and yeah, it looks about right. I don't know to you, but to me it looks about right. So we're done with that sidebar. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start developing the middle timeline. We are not going to build the algorithm or anything close to it. I apologize for the commotion. but we're going to build something that is relatively functional. We're going to add the 12 all around padding, and we're going to call this center timeline. All right, cool. And in the center timeline, you have at the top the stories section. Okay. Used to be a little bit different before, but it's okay. And let's take some measurements here in Arc. Unfortunately, for some reason, I cannot bring Arc to the screen. I'm not completely sure why, but it's what it is. All right, so it's 84 pesos. So this is about 84 pesos. And let's take some more measurements. Okay. We're going to bring a repeating group in here. It's going to have one row, many columns. It's going to span all the way down. About 80 pesos. And it's going to keep the container right in the middle. And this is going to be the, how do you call this? Is it stories or reels? I don't think it matters. So we're going to call it stories repeating group. I believe that's how we did it. Yep, story. It's going to do a search for story, and that's about it. Now we're going to drop a group inside here. This is going to be 72 by 72 pesos. It's going to be center. Information inside will be center. We are going to bring an image here. Let's make sure that we are setting up all the data correctly. So the type of content is going to be a story, and the data source will be the current sales story. Now for the image, it's going to be the parent group story, user, profile picture, and we're going to stretch it out. And this is going to be 40 pixels all around, and it's going to be centered in the group. Actually, we can actually do 48 here. And I think that would be good. And now we're going to bring on Instagram, that's the username. So this is going to be the parent group story, user, username. And this is going to be center, and it's going to be color white. And I believe we can do 500, not much line spacing, and this is probably 812. And this, let's just let us stand it. And 12 might still be a little bit too big, but I think that's okay. And then in between these, not that, this. This is going to be story container group. And this is going to be container group, and actually this will be individual story. All right, cool. Now that we get that out of the way, we don't have any stories created, so it's going to take a little bit before we go and test that. But as you can see, we should be able to get, you see, if we make this a 16 and make sure, yep, center test. All right, that should be good. I think that's pretty good actually. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we got that out of the way. The next thing that we're going to do is now we're going to start focusing on this area. The first thing, now that we have that done, we're actually going to clone this. I think this could be useful, but change these to posts, and we can get that out of the way. And we're going to open this, change the name. This is going to be post repeating group, but this time we're going to change the type of content from stories to posts. The data source will be posts, and the rows will be unlimited, but the column this time, the column is actually 1, so you don't need more than 1 column. So rather than individual story, it's going to be individual post. So we got a post and current start post, and here span as much as you want, and both sides. Let's make sure. Okay, yeah, looks about right. All right, so we're going to change the padding here in a little bit, but so this is actually going to be the header of that container group, and this is a row. So again, we're just changing the container group that we had. We're changing it a little bit. This is going to be a row, and this is going to be the first element. This is going to be actually not center, but to the left. We're going to add some gap. It's going to be about 6 pixels. And I don't use that much Instagram, so I don't know. Okay. So we're going to bring another plugin. This time is going to be a relative time JS. Relative moment, I believe this is, yeah, this is the one that I typically use. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring one of these in here. And the time will be the creation time. Let's see the documentation for this one. Okay, so this is the current date and time. This is going to be 1 pixel by 1 pixel, really, really small. You won't be able to see it. Let's make sure that everything is centered. And actually, this one could be about 32. Yep. Maybe a 40, maybe. All right. I'm going to duplicate this. And this is going to be relative time, a current value. All right, let's see what goes after that and whether you're following or not. Okay, let's see how we're doing that one. Actually, we're not going to do that one. Just what it is. Suck to suck. All right. So we got the first one here. Let's make sure that the repeating group is a column. It is. So we're going to duplicate this one. And this is going to be the individual group content container group. So in Instagram, typically you have an image up there. So this is going to be actually a column, not a row. On the image there. And let's make sure this is a column because we will need some gap in between them. All right. So we have the parent group. Okay, not the user, but actually. Yep. All right, so we're dropping a repeating group, and the repeating group will be and this is going to be image content type, parent group, images, or maybe file. Let me make sure. For the post, it's a list of post images. Pretty sure this is images. Okay. And we're in the repeating group. Oh, each item image. Okay, cool. So that should do it. Let it spread. And now this image can be part of this. And that's current SAR image. And keep the aspect ratio. All right, cool. All right, so for the next one, we have a group for interactions. So we're going to extend it. We're going to rename it to post interactions group. And that looks about right. So what we want to do is we want to getting a call from my daughter's school. I will need a moment. I apologize about that. Um, it's sometimes it's hard to deal with parenting and other things at the same time. But we're back. So now we have this group, and we are going to be making it. I think that was. Let's see, they were all to the side. Let's So this was 48 pesos. And let's make sure we have all the alignments correctly. We're going to drop a material icon. So this is favorite. And this is going to be about 20 by 20. Let's change the color to color white. And let's make sure it's centered. All right. So now that we have the first one, this actually seems a little bit too big. Now that we have the first one, we're going to make this 24. We're going to duplicate this 2 more times. And we're going to make sure that this is a row. And we have comments and what is this? And share. So we have comment and we have share. Should be good enough. All right, we're going to copy this. Paste it. I'm going to delete 2 of these. We don't need them. We're going to make this a row container, which we are going to span all the way down. We want the opposite sides anyways. And we want to make sure that they're both where they need to be, because we need a save icon. Is it bookmark? Yep, bookmark icon. All right, close enough. And we're going to change the name of these groups. So save post group. We got share post group. Comment and like. All right, let's build some conditional statements. So before we do that, we need to build some of the data information. So for this one, we need to bring all the data all the way down to the lowest level so we can build conditional statements. So let's make sure that we got everything we need before we start going down that rabbit hole. And just as a reminder, I will be posting the link to this editor after the third video. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure that you at least consider subscribing. That way you will get access to that link in some of my other videos. If you can do me a favor, I would really appreciate if you can please either leave a comment or like this video. It really means the world to me when you do that, because it helps me reach more people. But not only that, but also motivates me to continue building great stuff out for the community. So now that we have built all that, now that we have brought the data to the lowest level, we're going to create conditionals. So we're going to do a search for save post, and if the post equals the parent group post and the user equals the current user, 1 second. Give me 1 second. I got a feeling that there is something missing here. All right. I'm sorry. And that is the first item. I'm sorry. And the count is 1 is equal. Sorry. More than 1. Sorry, more than 0. Then we need the icon to be fill. So whenever we have that, the icon will look like this. If it's not, then it will look like that. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Now we're going to go and copy that condition. We're going to paste it here, and rather than save post, we're going to be looking at the like. It was favorite. Heart will be fill, and the other two don't need conditional statements, so we're going to leave them as it is. All right, that's good. Now for the next one, we're going to count the amount of likes, but rather than counting the amount of likes, we're going to actually bring that to the end. Rather than counting the amount of likes, what we did is we actually got, we'll have a counter for counter data field for each individual post. That way we don't have to go and do another calculation in the back end, therefore saving us on work units and making your site much more efficient. And this is probably a bowl. Yep. All right, so we're going to get some gap in between, and we're going to move on to the next one. The next one is going to be on the caption. I'm going to spread it out all the way to the end. And this can be much more larger. All right, that's good. It can go from there. And now we're going to count how many comments are there. I don't think we have a counter for that one, but we will definitely add one again, just in an effort to, oh yeah, we actually do. And just to go back to the backend comments, that's a number. Likes, that's a number. And that just count how many are there. So we get that. And now the next one will be a way to add a comment. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring an input element. We're going to make sure that is the last one. On the way down. This definitely don't need to be that big. We're going to change the text. Everything will be white, slightly gray. That's fine. We're going to change this to 36. That we want, and we're going to get rid of that border style. we are going to add a button with a conditional statement again. But this button will be really small. So let's see. So what I'm doing right now is I'm changing the padding. We don't need that much padding anyways. And this is going to be a row, which can stretch out all the way down to the end. That's completely fine. But we don't want to show this at the beginning. We only want to show it when there is when input A value is not empty, just like Instagram. So let's make sure it's hidden at the beginning. Yep, it's not visible on page load. All right, cool. I think there's only one more thing that I'm missing, and that is going to be exactly that. Oh. It's going to be the emoji. In 2020. This is going to be at the end. Let's add some gap in between. I think that looks about right. Yep. And let's make sure that they both match. So that's 36%. I knew that. All right, cool. I think that looks about right now. All right. So this is going to be the post comment group. This is going to be post comment count. And Bubble reset on me. Hopefully it didn't go down. I'm sorry about that. It might be my internet connection, it might be Bubble, who knows. We don't want to upgrade, we just want to work. So, post comment count this. I'm going to copy this because we're going to paste it on this one. And rather than comment, this is a like. And this is post caption test. Just easier for me to reference later if I need to do that. Let's check the colors here. All right, so it looks like this one is gray. So we're going to bring it down to 36%. And that should be good. The only thing that I believe we're missing is going to be all right, separator is gray one, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, looks pretty great to me. And we're going to add some margins. It's going to be about 4 pixels. It's not going to be that much. All right, we should be able to achieve all of this here in a moment. But let's go and do this other sidebar, and then we will start building more features that will bring everything together. So for that sidebar, we're going to copy this element. As you can see, like I like copying stuff everywhere. Like I don't waste time like redoing stuff if I don't need to. So this is going to be the current user profile picture. This is going to be the current user username. And we're going to bring these two together because both of these are going to make exactly what we need in order to achieve. So that's the first name and the current user last name. Let's see, and that's a gray color. Oops, alert is going off. Turn that off. And I probably just broke my microphone. Hopefully not. All right. Let's bring this back here. All right, cool. So we get that cover. Let's make sure you take right 4. This one needs to be center, and everything is center now. All right. So now we get these 2 elements. So again, just copying stuff, just making sure that we get what we need. I'm going to clear both of these expressions. And this one was CO. Perhaps I should have swapped them. That's what it is. And this is a row. Opposite ends. All right. And now this is going to be a repeating group of different users. And then later on, we can perhaps create some logic as for which users are presented there, some kind of algorithm. Definitely not part of this video today. So we're going to do a search on limited rows. No, actually, it's not unlimited rows. This is only 5 of them. So we will do 5. We don't want like the full thing. Okay, so this is users. Do a search for user and no constraint. Like I said, we can do this later. And this is user current user, parent group user profile picture, user, and parent group user name, perhaps parent group user first name, and parent group user last name Oh no, actually, it doesn't have first and last name. So we're going to do a search for the social graph, and what we want to do is when the follower equals, the following equals the prime group user, and we're going to see how many are there. So followed by however many. And again, we want to make sure that there is a little bit of margin. Just a little bit, that's fine. All right, so this is what we're going to do. For all of those elements, what we want to do is we want to bring them all in. And I'm not even sure if this is the best idea to go about it, but we want to push it out. And now we want to about help press. We're going to clear all these expressions. And now we can bring it in. And this just allows us to build all of these menu items that will lead to our pages. API, jobs, privacy. So we got jobs, and lastly, privacy. All right, now we're going to spread them out. And lastly, we are going to add a shape in between all of them. It's going to be 3 pixels by 3 pixels. It's going to be completely rounded. It's going to be right in the middle. And the stock market has closed. Great. Didn't do too bad today. And there's one too many right here. 2, 3, 4. Let's bring them in between. And lastly, this one. All right, let's take a look at it. Perhaps they are a little bit smaller. I should have looked at that before copying them, but it's what it is. And listen, like, I'm not trying to do something perfect. I'm just trying to get to a decent outcome. And the reason why is because I'm going to be sharing this with you. So I'm hoping that it will give you something close to whatever it is that you want to build, which I would love to know in the comments. If you can please tell me what you're trying to build, that will give me some idea because the last video will be on other features that you can build to make this even more functional. Um, and I will be sharing some ideas that I have that could make Instagram, I guess, a little bit cooler than it is. So let's bring this up a little bit. All right. Then we have consumer health, privacy, themes, and locations. I'm going to copy all of these. Screw it. I don't want to be typing the whole time. And locations. Boom. Boom. Don't need you. Don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need you. And I don't need you. Um, Let's just again stand this out. And this actually can be a little bit smaller, so we're going to make them a little bit smaller. And we have one more row to go. Uh, let's see. I don't need you. I only need two of you. So I'm going to delete the ones that I don't want. So we got this one, which we don't need. This one. Perhaps we can add some gap in between and push them to the side so they look about the same. And their gap in between. Alright, so this is as close as I am willing to get for the Instagram um, page. This is the right sidebar. So we're going to add right sidebar group. I think it's a fairly close product of what it is. Oh, actually, this is not the right cyber group. Damn it. We're going to leave as it is. Alright, it's not group C, it's right cyber group. I'm sorry, I got confused on that one. Alright, so on this one, I believe we can do 80% because it looks like on Instagram, this center is smaller than the top stories widget. And lastly, there will be some gap in between, about 12 pixels. That should be enough. All right, so going back to this, it looks about right. So what we're going to build now is the create portion of it. So as you can see, there is a group focus right there. So we're going to build a group focus. So we're going to go to the full sidebar. And it's not this one, it's actually this one. So we're going to bring a group focus, and this is the create menu group. Create a post group focus, and this will be tied to the create menu group. We definitely don't want it to be that big. I would say 180 pesos is good enough. That's about 26. And I'm tired of writing it every single time. So we're going to go to the style variable, and we're going to make it the primary color, whatever. You can change it later. I'm pretty sure that there are better primary colors for this build, but don't matter to me. All right, and we're going to copy one of these, add it there. This is actually last. Let's make sure that the roundness, which we're going to change in the styles, the group focus, the roundness is 6 pesos. And these are in opposite ends. So we're going to add them to opposite ends. Oops, what did I do? Alright. So this one is pause and then live video. So pause. Let's see if we can find something close. I don't see anything relatively close, so that will be 1. And that will be 2. And this will be live video. All right, so with that being said, we're going to click on pause, and it's going to bring this up. So we're going to add a pop-up here. And that pop-up will be up to 480 pixels with no minimum width. And this looks about, actually that's changing styles. Pop-up, standard pop-up, we're looking at 12 pesos all around. And yeah, that looks about right. And the background color would be the primary color, and that should be good. Now for the next one is we're going to go and get a plugin. Which one? Multi-file uploader drop zone. We're going to close this, that just allows for multiple images um, to be uploaded. So this is going to stand all the way out, all the way down. 36%. It's going to be center. To copy this. That's the message that is going to display on a 16, maybe 18 pesos. And we're going to leave it there. So we're going to add a workflow that will show that pop-up. And that pop-up name will need to change. So create post pop-up. Alright, so let's take a look at it. Oh, we didn't create that. Alright, so the create, we're going to add a workflow, and that workflow will toggle that group focus. Alright, so post shows here. Select a few logos, upload them. Alright, cool. So let's see how it works on here. And select a few logos. Image 3 is too small. Okay, cool. And we don't want image 3. Alright, so it shows one at a time. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the pop-up and we're going to do some work. So when this want the file uploader value is now empty, so count is equal or bigger than 1, you are going to disappear. I don't want to see you. And when you disappear, we're going to have a how do we want to do this? All right, we're going to have an image when you disappear. That is going to stand all the way out. I'm sorry for narrating that way. And this is going to show multi-file uploader value item number 1. All right, I think that's good. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that this is a row, because now we're going to add some icons, and this is going to be a white arrow. I should say a gray arrow. So we're going to change it. This arrow will take me backward, and this one will take me forward. Oops. How do we do this? Perhaps we want to make that a little bit bigger. All right, so let's start creating conditionals. There have to be a better way to do this at this point. I'm just let's see. So let's group this in a row container. Let's make sure that they are able to span. These would be images and or files. All right. So what is the name of the group? So group file. Run group file. No. Perhaps we want to do this with a. Okay, yeah. I am so sorry. I'm acting like a dummy. All right. So I believe that this will solve. And you know, this is the magic of no code. You can be working on something and everything goes well, and then you just have a brain fart. It's what it is, you know. um, this is repeating group file. So, and this one will show nest. Let's make sure that this is working correctly. There should be nothing there. All right, this group file is not shown until the multi-file uploader value count is actually the other way around. Is equal or more than 1. And then okay, yeah, it is. I had it. All right, so let's bring these photos and videos. Now we get that. We can upload them. It should display. No display. Oh. Let's make more. Come on. Or I can say it's not 0. I think that's what it was. Probably. And we're going to upload some pictures. What did I do? Pictures are uploaded. Displays. Alright. Goes to the next one. Alright, so we got similar functionality to Instagram. Now what we need to do is we need to make sure that this one displays the previous one, and we should be golden. Show previous. And group file. Yep. Alright. So going back to Instagram, once the pictures are uploaded, you get this at the top. We're not going to build functionality for cropping, but we want to display that button that says Nest. So what we're going to do is we're going to group all of these together in a row container, and we're going to add a group here, which is the header group, and we're going to make sure that this is a column. And here we're going to have a test. This says Nest. This color blue. And will be positioned to the right. And is about 600. It's probably completely full. And there will be some gap in between. All right, cool. What does it do when we do Nest? It shows some filters. We're not going to be building no filters, at least in this video series. All right, then we have this. So what we're going to do is I'm not going to rebuild something that I had already built before. So we're going to bring this up, copy. All right. So this is step 2, image preview group. And from there, it will take us to step 3. Final details group. That's how I'm going to call it. We can delete this conditional because we don't want that. And this is the share button. All right, let's see how it looks like. Okay. Okay, cool. So we have another group here. And let's not confuse this. That's step 3. All right, we're going to group these two in a row, and this is going to get expanded. This one is going to be about, oh, wait, what am I doing? This one is going to be about 60%. Okay. We need to go back to the index page. And we need to copy this, bring it back to the sidebar, bring back the pop-up, hide the multi file uploader, bring up step 3, and in group I, we're going to drop this. We're going to delete the share button, and that's the very first thing that you have at the top. Then from there, we are going to bring a multi-line input. And where is that at? Yeah, right here. And we're actually going to bring it like this. I need you to, yep. And we need to bring a counter. So this is going to be the multi-line input. Oh, no. Number of characters out of how many? Out of 2200. This is going to be color white with 36%, 12, only one. But in addition to that, we are going to bring a material icon here. It's going to be exactly that in white, 36%, 20 by 20 pixels. And we're going to group them together into a row container that puts them on opposite sides. And let's make sure that it stands all the way out. And lastly, we're going to make sure that this is aligned to the right. All right, so with that being said, we're going to close these groups, going to bring back the pop-up, show me this. This is going to hide step 2, and it's going to display step 3. And let's test this out. Let's see how it looks. All right, we're going to add some pictures. Pictures are being uploaded. We got the images there. Kind of messed up. I will fix that. But we're able to go forward, go back, cool. We got to step 2. Now we can start typing here. The number of characters is being counted, which is working correctly. All we need to do is we need to make sure that the image is okay. That's good for step 2. For step 3, let's make sure that the image also. All right, let's try this one more time. going to bring up the images, upload them. All right, so that's way too small. I'm going to fix it in a moment. All right, that looks about right. Not sure I changed the color, but and it's still counting on the number of characters. That's pretty good. Trying to figure out why this thing is not big enough. Let's step 2, show me step 3 because I need to change this color. Okay, so it's color white. Change it to color white. We leave this a medium color white. Let's go with 12. All right, so with that being said, we're going to make sure that there's some kind of gap in between these two. And let's go for it one more time. Upload the images. I will make sure I remove all of this later. All right, so it's looking correct. All right, looking good. Then, of course, I'm not logged in, so there's no user up here. We're going to create an account here in a moment. All right, it's counting the number of characters correctly. We didn't do anything for this, so that's what it is. Let's create an user. I don't even know if there's one created already. Nope, I didn't. All right, so profile picture. Let's find a profile picture of me right here. Username J Vasquez. First name Jesus. No private account. Vasquez, email address J Vasquez at hustlinglabs.com. And we're going to close this one, open this one. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to close the debugger. All right. There's some work to do on the sidebar, but that's not what we're working on now. So to pose. Let's see. Let's get the pictures. All right, we can go next. All right, so there's some kind of issue right there. I'm going to clear this, no reason to do that. I don't know what the issue is. Let's make sure this is round image. right, so we get that. Guess Alright, we get that. There's a big gap in between. I Oh, there is an element here in between these two that did not need to be there. And of course, this is a uh, much bigger element. Mm, okay. Alright, let's bring some images. Click next, and now we have closer to what we desire. Alright. Before I forget, let's go back to the index page and face right here. We don't need this. It needs to be a perfect circle. And again, we don't need this, and this needs to be a perfect circle. All right, cool. Perhaps we add the same amount of gap in between, and we remove this because it's not needed. There's one more thing that I would like to do actually, now that I think about it. And that is making sure that I'm not showing up on the list. There's no reason for the system to suggest to follow myself. So that's good. And now looking at it, we're going to discard this for now. We need to add a button that says follow. And just add a button here. With no primary color. Kind of small. Bring it center. And that should be good. All right, so going back to the creating the pose. All right, we're going to go to step 3, and we're going to create now the functionality. So, all right, so we're going to add a workflow on the share button, and that is going to create a new thing. That new thing will be a post, and the caption will be the caption that we just captured there. Excuse me. We don't need comments, so we can leave that out. We are going to add a list and for the images, and that will be we're going to take care of that in a moment. We don't need like, neither location. User is the current user, and there is no video. Now, with that being said, where is the pop-up? All right, so the pop-up is going to be post images, and image type is going to be a list. Got to go back. Um, when an input value change, the element is the multi-file uploader. It's going to set the state of an element. The element is create post pop-up, post images, this multi-file uploader value. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the test share, and we're going to add what is it called? What was the name of create post pop-up? Let's try this. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Definitely adding a list. Okay, I see what I'm doing. So we're going to set the type of content. That should no. Let's see. Let's try this. Did I call it post? Really? Hmm. Um, let's make sure that I might have done something slightly different here. That's why. Let me revisit the database. Okay, so yeah, it's referencing the post images. So for now, that's why. For now, we're going to just upload it there. All right, so the post pop-up, post images, and we're going to delete this custom state. And actually, even better, it's going to be the multi-file uploader value. That way we don't have to run this workflow. And we are going to bring a those notification. Yep, the 1 byte minimum studio. I really like that one. And we're going to be using that to let the user know that it has been created. to select the first parent. It's going to be in between those two. So what will happen is it's going to notify a notifier. Says your post has been created. Alright, cool. And let's make sure that this is center bottom. Yeah, it's fine. And we are going to hide this pop-up. And one of the reasons why I use the reusable element rather than building this all in the dashboard page or the index page is because you want to make sure that you have different elements in different areas as reusable elements. That make it way easier to go back and make edits and make sure that everything's working correctly. So I personally and many other Bubble developers really like building reusable elements and adding those to the page rather than just um, creating the elements straight into the page. I think it's personal preference, but it's also probably one of the best practices that I have learned throughout my time as a Bubble developer. That you want to make sure that you're adding those into the page rather than just creating those from scratch. So we're going to go back and we're going to create our first post. We're going to add these images. And now is the moment of truth. This is where we're going to see what kind of things I did wrong in the earlier build. And we're going to share this. All right, so I can see a few things. First, let's go back to the index page. Perhaps I don't want to have this relative time JS here. I want to have it at the end, and we want to make it a fits width. That's the first thing that I can tell. Second thing, the roundness, I forgot to make it 100. The third thing is that this element is probably bold. And the second element is probably along the lines of that, but it needs to be 36%, and perhaps this is semi-bold. Let's take a look again. All right, that looks much better. But this repeating group don't need to have boulders, so we're going to get rid of the boulders. And also, why are these two? Should have been one, not zero. You see, like it's just the little things that you don't cache at the moment. All right. So now it's looking much better. Perhaps we can make this a little bit smaller. Maybe a 70. It looks pretty good to me. Let's just make sure. Okay. This is actually pretty much more. Let's take a look again. And at this point, I'm just playing around with it. And we have no images here. We have to fix that. Alright, this might be it. All right, it's not it, but it's also not that important. All right, let's go back to this repeating group. All right, so yep, that's what it was. All right, cool. And now what we can do for these images is we're going to add some margin. And also allow them to be a little bit bigger just for the sake of so that's the minimum width. Let's take a look. All right, I think that's much better. Also, this doesn't need to have a border or separators. That's going to make it so much cleaner. All right, I think that's pretty good. Um, let's see. So this is view all parent group posts, comment, comments, and this is the like something. All right, cool. Moving on to the next one. So the next one will be making sure that we can create, we can actually save the post. So we're going to create a workflow for that. We are going to create a new thing, and that is going to be save post. The post will be the parent group post, and the user will be the current user. Now, with that being said, we don't want users going click, 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 and creating 1,000 rows in our database. So this is going to be only when uh, save post and the post and the user. The post equals parent post. The user equals current user. Count is 0. Now, with that being said, when the count is 1, it's going to be slightly different because this time we're just deleting that thing, and we're going to do a search for save post. And again, we want to search for the post that is the current post, and the user is the current user, and that is going to be the first item that it finds, and that is what it's going to delete. And we're going to create something similar for the like. So actually what we're going to do is we're going to copy both of these. Ain't no reason to reinvent a wheel when it has already been invented. We just need to make changes and claim it as our own. So late the like, and we're going to like it. And what we're deleting is the like. And we're going to do the same thing for the next one, for save post. We're going to make sure that it's looking for that one, and it's okay, and that should be good enough. All right, and let's test this out, make sure that our theory is correct. We like it. Ooh, searching for likes. All right, well, what if we do it this way? And the operators are not uh, my forte, so I will apologize. We will use the easiest one. There are much better ways for all right, so it didn't run. Okay, I think I know what it is. Because this is, it wasn't clicking on the right button. It wasn't triggering from the right button, I should say. All right, it works. Let's see. Let's look at the database. Let's see, where's the freaking button? Oh, not even looking at the right one. All right, database is empty. We like it. It has one row of data. Go back to the app. And that row of data is gone. All right, let's now test the save feature. All right, we save it. Let's make sure it's on the database. It's right there. We unsave it and it's gone. All right, it's working as intended. And that should be good. Hey, this brings me to the end of this live stream. We're almost at the 2 hour that I intended to be. I really appreciate you taking your time and watching this live stream. I will be doing another live stream either tomorrow or on Sunday. If you like it and you're watching on Twitter or S, I should say, which is called now, I would really appreciate if you like and share and repost on retweet. I should say retweet, right? Kind of weird because it's S, but call it retweet, whatever. I would really appreciate if you can retweet this video. It would really mean a lot to me. Like it, follow me if you like my content. I will be publishing much more content like this here in the upcoming months. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, click the bell notification so whenever I go live again, whether that is tomorrow or on Sunday, you get that notification. Like this video, it really helps me with the algorithm to reach more people. And I hope you're getting a whole lot of value out of these live streams. And if you have any specific questions, please let me know. I will be more than happy to answer them either in the live stream or to you personally on a direct message or on the comments. But more importantly, I really hope that what you're getting out of this will help you build something truly amazing. And if you end up building something truly amazing, please share it with me. I would love to put it out there to the world to see because it really makes my day when people build some truly amazing things using the knowledge that I teach in these live streams and in the videos that I release on YouTube, and sometimes I publish in ads. It really make me feel good. Um, but with that being said, this is the end. I hope you have a great rest of your day, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time.